Hi there, welcome to this video. My name is Fidget. I've been an electronic music producer now for about 9-10 years, specializing in hip-hop, trip-hop, ambient and glitch. In this video I'm going to be going over a drum rack that I've created which has the same parameters and control that you would find on the Novation Circuit. So you saw in the beginning of the video a small little clip of my Novation Circuit and the drum samples that I've put on there. You'll find on this drum rack. So we're just going to go over basically what's going on inside of the drum rack, and yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it. And so when you open up the Circuit drum rack, you'll be presented with this little box here, which is just a drum rack. You've got your kicks, your snares and your hats. Now on the surface you have the transposition of the kick and the snare, which you can go down to -12 and up 12. You've got the same for the snares, the kick decay and the snare decay. So you can really make these snares and kicks sound really small or really big. The hats transposition is the same as the kick and the snare. It goes down to -12 and +12. But the little surprise thing here is your kick selector, snare selector and hat selector. These you can scroll through the different snares that are loaded within sampler. Same with the snare, same with the hi-hats. So if we go in further, we can see that on each one there is an effect rack. Now this has distortion, which is a combination of redux and overdrive. You've got your filter frequency, which is just the standard auto filter, your filter types, and your morph between the different types of filters. Down here you've got your reverb, which is just a simple dry and wet knob, because I wanted to try my best to emulate the circuit, so I've tried to restrict as much as possible in the same way that the circuit restricts you. But if you want to go into further sound manipulation, all you have to do is click within the effects rack, click on the distortion, and you can see all the effects here. So you've got redux, overdrive, and the auto filter. Below is the reverb in a chain, which is just a standard Ableton reverb, which you can see the dry wet knob is mapped to this. And here, if you want to change more of the parameters of the reverb, you've got it here, so you can create your own reverb sounds. Now, these effects racks are the same in the snare and the hi-hats, in the same way that you've got the same effects, the same types of effects within the circuit. You can see each one is color-coded to the same color as what you would find on the drum rack. So the kick is orange, the snare is orange, and hats are yellow. I've yet to do percussion yet, but that will be coming in a later update. So if we go into the kicks here, it's just the standard sampler, but the special thing is if you go into the zone, click the zone tab here, you can see all the different kicks here. So we've got 6 kicks, and if we go to the select page, you can see that each one is divided equally. So you can scroll through your different kicks. So this, for example, and we can select our kick, and it's the same for the snare and it's the same for the hi-hat. So these samples that I'm using, they come from sort of 70s, 60s, 70s kind of jazz records, funk records, blues. So here we've got the kick 1, okay, kick 2, and so on. All these snares, kicks and hi-hats have been processed using UAD plugins, the Poltech and the UAD 1176, I think that's what the compressor is called. So they've got a really nice analog warmth to it. I've come from a band background. I play in a lot of bands, and so the productions that I make, I try to make sound as organic and as real as possible. So that's why I've decided to go down that route of analog sounding kicks and snares and hi-hats. So there we go. That's just a quick overview of the Circuit Drum Rack. I hope that you download it and use it in your productions. It's a really handy tool to have. It's quick and easy. All you have to do is just load it up, and if you're a finger drummer, you can arrange the hats to whichever square you feel comfortable with. Or whether you're sequencing, it's right off the bat, away you go. Have a lot of fun with it, and yeah, like I said, I'll be updating this over the course of time, adding more percussive elements, but again, keeping it to just the way the circuit is built. So there's going to be a lot of restrictions, but I do believe that giving yourself restrictions leads to more creativity. So hope you enjoy this drum rack. It's a very nice tool to have, and I will be seeing you at a later date. So as you can see, the Circuit Drum Rack is actually a very, very versatile piece of gear. I always do believe in limiting yourself. Hence why the parameters and the controls are mirrored from the circuit. So you're limiting yourself, and you can create some really interesting textures drum-wise. This is the first of a few drum racks that I'm going to do. I'm going to be updating quite regularly. I will also be running these same effects through some pedals, so you get an even more unique sound. There's going to be a lot more glitchy stuff, more experimental stuff. So yeah, please stay tuned, and hopefully you enjoy the drum rack, and I will speak to you later.